I was just sitting here thinking about a situation that I've been dealing with, and it changed the way I seen things with some people, and I decided I'm gonna share it to the world. Everybody been asking me, what happened, what went on, we talking about years and years and years, decades of a relationship with a person's, you know. But one thing you got to realize, the way you met a person, as years goes on, people change, they evolve, some for the good, some for the bad. You have to accept either way though, because you should be changing, evolving, recreating, hopefully in a good way, or whatever you consider a good way to be. But me and a good friend of mine, one of my, I would say he was my right hand man. I thought he was my best friend. But sometimes, you be thinking people your best friends, and they don't think you their best friends. I know a lot of y'all done went through that, so you definitely feel what I'm saying. But anyway, we done been through it all. I mean, I'm talking about from the sandbox, a little older, but we was still in the sandbox, 11, 12 years old, you know. Hey, from us sneaking out the house, going to see girls, from me and him still in his parents' car, coming to pick me up, us riding, breaking down, trying to figure it out. We did a lot together, man. You know, when I needed bro to come to court for me, bro came to court. You know what I'm saying? So when I say, we done a lot for each other, and to it's kind of hard to speak on it, but you know, I held it in for months until I finally decided, okay, it's time. So, 2000 and 2000 and I'm gonna say 19. Um, I was looking for a place to rent, and I seen my homeboy had a house. Now I didn't know the history behind the homes, or the facility, the churches that because now my homeboy's a pastor. Well, he's not my homeboy no more, but he's a pastor. So he leasing. Now that I know, he leasing two churches and a house. So I'm going to church, and I really ain't churchy, but I'm going there because it's my homeboy. I'm supporting him. And I see this house, and I'm looking for a house, so I get at him like, hey, yo, bro, what's going on with that house? You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for one. What's going on with that? He like, well, listen, we doing some remodeling there because we're gonna put that house on Section 8. I'm like, okay, I feel you. So he like, yeah, we're gonna do that, and I'm like, well, shit, I'm gonna look for something else. As time goes on, I'm noticing, it ain't nothing happening with the house. I'm like, bro, what's going on? Y'all getting it on Section 8? Because I understand you get more money from the government. You probably can get the max of whatever the house is worth. I'm like, what's going on though? Y'all gonna be able to put that on Section 8? Like, I don't know, man. The people voucher, they ain't something about the people's voucher. And the people that was going moving the house first, they were part of the church. They went in to do some work on the house, to get it up the code for it to pass inspection for Section 8. I grew up on housing authority, so I know, you gotta have this stuff right. If you don't, they're not gonna pass it. So eventually, they wasn't able to get the house up under Section 8. So I came in, I'm like, hey, listen, bro, I want the house, man. What you asking for a month? So he said, well, housing authority was gonna give me 1,400. That's the max. And this is a nice size house. I mean, it's 3 bedroom. big kitchen, you know, sunroom, basement, probably about two acre, no, I'm gonna say about an acre and a half, acre somewhere up in there, fenced in, right next to the church, huge house. So the house was, in a sense, worth what he was saying. But when you walk in the house and seeing all the unfinished work that was done on the house, you would say to yourself, hey, man, this house it ain't worth that. So, you know, I get to chopping it up with him like, yo, bro, you know, I mean, can you do anything better than that? So he eventually came down and said $1,100. And in my mind, I'm still thinking, boy, you my homeboy, man. We best friends, you know what I'm saying? You know, and sometimes, you know, they always tell you don't mix friendship with business. And, you know, this is a very valuable lesson for anybody, even myself moving forward, something I probably will never do. But thinking of us and how we always been, you know, I'm thinking, bro, gonna work with me. So it took bro a minute to come back around and say, you know, what he be willing to do. So I get at his wife, because, you know, I'm still going to church. I get at his wife, and I'm like, yo, can you believe this bro won't even drop down for me? You know, this me. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, she do a little smile and stuff. Anybody know her. So finally, one day, me and bro talking, he like, bro, what can you do? You know me, I'm a businessman. I said, bro, what about 600 a month? He said, I can't do that. I can't do no 600 a month. You know, I'm trying to get in the best situation, because right now I really ain't on my feet at the time. I'm trying to get back on my feet. So I shoot him with 600. I'm thinking the relationship we got, he probably gonna accept this. To be honest with you, if I was him, which I'm not him, and he got a family as far as a wife, you know, you got to go through your wife and get accepted, see what she say, you know, and go from there. So I understood that. But in my mind, if it was me, I would have told bro, I would say, listen, bro, because of how we was, the things we done for each other, you know, hey, bro, go on, get yourself together, man, and once you get good, hit me up, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying, start hitting me off. So, you know, finally, you know, I'm like, bro, I say, you know, what about 800 a month, man? You know, that's about the best I can do, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, because I'm working for myself. You know, I might go get a couple hours there now and then. So, bro say, all right, I do the 800 a month. He said, I'll do the 800 a month. I say, shoot, man, I'm glad, you know, thank you, bro, I appreciate it. So, in the meantime, while I'm going through this, I'm going back to court with my children's mother over our custody situation or some stuff we got going on. And, you know, this is going to look good for me to be able to say, you know, hey, I got this home. I provide this for my children. You know what I'm saying? They got their own bedrooms, blah, blah, blah. So in the meantime, you know, I'm trying to get the power on. And, you know, we talking. He like, well, bro, it's a lock on the power because um, he said it's a lock on the power because they tried to get power. And it was lock on the power because the people that was in there working clipped the thing to where they was pretty much stealing power. So it's a tab on it. I think it was for like 600 or, you know, somewhere up around in there. So we can't get lights, you know what I'm saying, till that's paid. So I'm like, well, I just give him my name, but, you know, at the time I didn't know, you know, he wasn't gonna be able to do it like that. So we worked it out to where I just went ahead and paid, you know, on that account that they had, you know, the tampering fee. I went ahead and paid that and whatever the bill was. So, you know, I finally get in the house. And I gotta tell you, before I got in the house, I was talking to one of my other homeboys, and he told me, bro, don't mess with that house. He said, leave that house alone, man. I'm telling you, y'all gonna have issues on that house. And I told my bro, I said, listen, if we have issues on that house, anything ever come now, we gonna fall out bad. I told him that from the gate, and I should have listened to bro. But he tried to tell me. But anyway, I eventually get in the house, you know, 2019, middle of it, and you know, I'm living there, and I'm making sure bro get his money. You know what I'm saying? Sometime when I paid the rent, how I would do it was, you know, most time I tried to pay it all at once, but normally what I would do was, let's say like I paid the rent the first of that month, and then the next week of that same month I start throwing him 3, 4, 2, and then it would add up to the 8 for the next month. So I wasn't late. I was paying early, but in increments. Some people may see a problem with that, but I was looking at it like I ain't late, I'm early, but I'm going to go ahead and send them this money to get out of the way. When you're in business for yourself, you got to go ahead and pay your bills. You can't, it's hard to be living off month to month. You got to get that stuff out of the way. So, time rolls by, everything going good. I've learned that I could use this house for more than what I was using it for. I was just using it to live. Later, for a while, we were in pretty much in one room because the house got a whole lot of stuff. I brought people in, a guy in to paint the rooms, you know what I'm saying, or repaint them and get it together, getting the floor stripped and all that and getting that stuff fixed. And after a while, I said, hold up, let me stop this because I don't own this property and I'm not about to be putting all this money into it. And it was a lot of work they had done to the house. So, we in the house, and I figured out I could use the house for more than what I was using it for. So, I took the basement, and that became my storage for, my furniture business. And then the sunroom, I took it, and I started staging furniture from there. I'm selling furniture from the sunroom, and I started selling cars as well. I put cars over there in the lot or behind the house, and be selling cars from the internet. And they seeing me doing all this, over a period of time I'm doing this stuff, and everything running smooth. So, come around about, I'm going to fast forward y'all. During that time, we was talking about me purchasing the house. And I'm like, well, I want to at first. I wanted to purchase, that's my dream. I want to buy a house. So we talked about it, and I said, I got to work some things out before, I begin to buy the house. So time go by, and I go back at him like, hey, bro, y'all still want to sell the house? Cause I'm feeling like I'm getting these things underway. Y'all still want to sell the house? He say, well, nah, we ain't gonna sell it now because that's gonna be Stephanie's first property. Stephanie is his wife, by the way. These are pastors at a church. He says, this is going to be Stephanie's first property, so, we going to keep it. So I'm still thinking, well, if it's going to be Stephanie's first property, then I'm cool, everything good, you know what I'm saying? Because these my people, that's my little sister, that's my brother, they married, so as long as I'm paying them the rent, we good, So, time go by, and I realize, anyway, I don't want to buy this house because it ain't no community. My children need community, need to go outside, be able to play with kids. It wasn't that. I liked it how it was because, it was on the main road, but if you rode by it, you wouldn't even notice it. I had these bushes, they were already there, bushes there that was kind of, keeping the house discreet. So that's how I like to live. I don't really want everybody to know where I'm at. So, he said it's going to be Stephanie's first property, so I left it at that. Some more time go by, and me and him chopping it up, fast forward up into about 2019, we chop it up, he talking about, they about to close on the properties, and I'm thinking all the properties. He come out one Sunday, I asked him, could I perform Dear Mama for my mama in church, this 2020. Asked could I perform Dear Mama for my mama in church for her birthday, and I blessed my mama that day. He come out that same day, said we closed on all the properties, and we got toward the end, and we got help from this man. He gave us, I think it was $7,000, it was $7,000 or $8,000. We got help from this man and to close. So we closed on the properties, but he never said which properties, and I'm automatically assuming the church is in the house. So, okay, everything's straight. That's December 2020. That's actually December 21st. I don't forget it because it's my mother's birthday. So, time, that's the end of the month. A couple weeks later, it's first of the month, so I pay him the rent. January, he say, hey, man, it's going to be some people. They going to be coming in. It's going to be some people. He said, we're going to be remodeling the house. So I'm thinking, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just let me know when so I could, y'all can work around me or whatever. So he say to me, and you probably have to start sending the money to somebody else or something, he said. I don't want to put no lies on this, all facts. So I said, all right. So he called me one day out of the blue. He's like, man, Reg want to talk to you. Do you want me to talk to him, or do you want to talk to him? So I'm like, who is Reg? And he's like, this is gonna be the guy you gonna be you probably start paying the rent to. You know, he may ask a little bit more. You may have to pay a little bit more, but you know, this is who you're gonna be paying the rent to. So I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? And he never really went into what he was talking about. So I'm like, you know, this January, I just gave you January rent. Just gave it to him a week before this conversation. So I said, well, let me talk to Reg. Whoever Reg is, I want to talk to him. So he give me Reg's number, and I get on the phone with Reg. And Reg say, he state who he is and, you know, what his business is with the house. And he say, well, I'm going to be closing on the house February 15th. I'm going to be needing you to, you know, relocate. You find another place to stay because I'm coming in. He said, I set $70,000 aside to come in and remodel the house. My son going to do the work for me, and I'm going to resell it. So I'm like, what? You know, it's out the blue. I'm shocked. Like, yeah, this February 15th, about 3 weeks away. He talking about I got to find somewhere to live. I'm like, man. So I'm getting there, you know, Crump, I can't get him on the phone, you know. So I immediately call a lawyer. Because I'm thinking I'm going to have to move. I don't know no better. I don't know the law when it comes to houses. So when I get on the phone with the lawyer, you know, good lady. Y'all ever looking for an attorney up in Cleveland County? Maggie James. Good attorney. Get on the phone with her, get to talking, telling her the situation. She said, well, find the lease. She said, once you find that lease, we're going to go off the lease. She said, and I hope the lease is in your favor. I still didn't know what she was talking about. She said, if the lease is saying, whatever the lease saying, that's what they got to go by, regardless of whether he bought it or not. So I ended up finding the lease, and the lease said from August the 19th, 2019, or August the 22nd, 2019, to August the 22nd, 2020. So, 2021, 2-year lease. So, that gave me life, that gave me time. Because now, the new buyer got to honor the lease. Now, that's not to say I don't supposed to pay him anything. That's to say you got to honor this lease until it is up. And when it is up, then he don't got to re-sign it, but that was going to give me time. So now Reg is upset because I done lawyered up. He pissed off. He's an older white man. He upset because he want this house. He want to get in. Right now the market is hot. It's on fire. So he said that, you know, he was a member of the old church, the church that actually owned the properties, and they were getting the house off the book. So they were giving him this house, and they said they were giving him this house. So I could be assuming, you know, but no, I'm not assuming. They were giving him this house so they can get it off the book. So Reg, you know, he upset because he ready to make some money. And he need me out of the way, and I ain't getting out of the way because I got to figure this out. Right now, you know, 800 was, man, that was perfect, man. And right now, property rental rates have went through the roof. You know, for what I had, that's about 17, 18 in Gastonia. I got to be honest, you know, but not in the condition that house was in. So, you know, I'm like, well, I ain't talking to Reg no more. Because, see, Reg had started sending me rental properties, and I'm thinking, okay, Reg must gonna help me. You know, he must gonna help me out because he's sending me the Reg wasn't planning to help me. He's just showing me, hey, this was out here, find one of them or get one of them. So my lawyer ended up telling me, hey, listen, here's what we can do. We can ask for a buyout for the remainder of the lease. This is in like February now. If he wants you out, then he needs to pay you moving costs and first month rent and deposit. Now we know anything out here 2-3 bedroom, you definitely finna pay in between $900 and up. So we thinking $1,000. We go in to ask Reg for $3,000 and hope to get $2,200 for moving expenses. So we go to Reg. Reg said no, ask Ron J for it. Go ask Ron J for the buyout. You know, and I'm still trying to reach out to Crump. I'm going to church every Sunday, still sitting there. I know he knowing what's going on. I ain't trying to confront him in church. I don't want to put nobody in our business. I'm reaching out to him, telling him, hey man, what's going on, bro? Hit me up. You know, and we trying to chop it up, and you know, I ain't really getting in touch with him. So one day out of the blue, one of our other friends, he set up a luncheon with us. He didn't know me and Ron J was going through this mess. He sets up a luncheon. Ron J back out on the first day. Then he come back and say, okay, we can do it this day now. Because Ron J knowing, hey, I've been dodging Terrell, so, man, what's going on? You know, but that's how God works. So, you know, we end up all clicking up, meeting up at a restaurant and eating, talking about, you know, what was going on out here. You know, this is a good conversation. You know, we talking about the advancement of our people and things we can do to help. So, in this conversation, I'm bigging Crump up. I'm saying, hey, Crump is Ron J. I'm bigging him up, saying, yeah, he the next new pastor coming up, you know, and the streets is listening to him. You know, I'm bigging him up. I ain't have to big him up in that because my voice is, if not as powerful as he is, just as powerful. I'm going to go ahead and say it's powerful, more powerful than he is, you know, especially when it comes to social media. You know, I don't care to be in the cliques or none of that when it comes to, you know, churches and all that. So, yeah, he got me right there. But when he come out to the world, if I'm not as powerful, we about the same. So, you know, I'm bigging him up, talking about how he, you know, he the next coming up and all this, that, and the third. You know, and we don't even cross the house conversation. When lunch is over, I don't say, bro, you've been seeing me calling, none of that stuff. I did ask in the meeting, hey, what made you, you know, get at both of us? I asked our other friend then, and he was saying, yeah, I just wanted to talk to y'all about, you know, what's going on in Gastonia. So we split that day. Still going to church. Me and Reg going at it. He going at it with my attorney. He don't want to talk to my attorney no more because she busting his ass. Hey, this the law. You can't do nothing about it. Mr. Partlow, he can start sentencing. He's saying the lease ain't valid. He's saying they told Ron J you could do month to month. He said they did encourage Ron J to rent the house, but they didn't encourage him to put out no lease for 2 years. Ron J came up with that lease. So he upset because I got this lease and he has to follow the lease. So he like, you know, he not gonna do the buyout. He been trying to get at Ron J. He been emailing all of us in the same email. Ron J ain't responding to nobody. And I'm still going to church, y'all. Every Sunday, sitting on the front row in church. So now I'm getting upset. I start getting disrespectful going to church. I come into church, I sit on the front row, and I pull out a book. Ain't got nothing to do with church. I'm reading the book. You know, I'm texting on my phone, whatever. Because this is how I'm battling him. You know, you ain't want to talk to me. Okay, you know I'm upset, so I'm going, you know, this is how I'm going to do it. I was being petty, I must admit. I was being petty. So, the day of Courtney's funeral, Big General Court, I went over there to the funeral, and when I left, I'm standing outside, and he sees me. And when he see me, we catch eye contact. We outside the church now. We right next door. He with his son, so he got to come over there to me. So finally, he pull up over there. He said, what's going on, man? I say, listen, I don't want to talk right now. I said, I'm mad. Just let me be mad. This in front of his son. I said, I'm mad. Just let me be mad. I say, let me deal with the way that I did. I said, you don't do people like that you love. You know what I'm saying? I said, I love you, and you done handle me like this. This wrong. He said, well, man, what's wrong, man? I said, bro, don't act like you ain't been getting the calls or the emails. He said, I ain't got nothing. I said, come on, bro. I said, man, you knew what was going on with this house, man, and you ain't tell me. Now, in the midst of all that, we really ain't got to the real bulk of things, what really tipped everything over. Not with Reg. Reg ain't came out with this information I'm about to give you next. So I say, I don't want to talk about this in front of your son. You know, I got that kind of respect. His son like my nephew. I say, I don't want to talk about this in front of your son. He said, no, we need to talk about it in front of my son. He need to hear this. So I say, man, you wrong for what you did, man. I say, you knew that this wasn't your house. I say, you knew this wasn't your house, man, and you knew at some point I was going to have to deal with these people, man, and you ain't tell me. And he said, man, I ain't know, man, and he said, man, I hadn't been getting no calls. Well, he didn't really say I didn't know about the house. He was saying he didn't know about me calling him and Reg messaging him and calling him. Because Reg said, come to find out, Red's the one who gave him the $7,000 to $8,000 to help him close. And Red said he ain't heard from him since. He been trying to get in touch with him because he can't get me out of the house. He want to know what's going on, and he won't answer the phone. I said, so Red told me I can ask you for the buyout. He said, oh, I didn't know I could buy you out. I said, yeah. He said, you could buy me out. He said, well, how much you need? Me being a friend, I'm thinking, man, I can't hit him like that, man. You know, because I know I'm about to ask him for every bit of $2,000 or better, regardless if I need it or not. It's the principle. So I say, man, what can you help me with? He was like, man, you tell me a number. I said, man, I ain't going to do that because I don't know his financial situation. I said, man, just tell me what you can help with. He said, okay, give me a couple days. So we chop it up. You know, I'm feeling a little bit better about it because I'm thinking, well, he going to help me, man. I go make my move now. So a couple days go by, I reach out to him. I say, bro, you know, he didn't hit me up. I said, bro, $2,200 to help me. He say, $2,200? I got a text. He said, $2,200, Terrell, I ain't just got $2,200 sitting around. I said, well, you told me that you the one who offered the help, so that's why I'm asking you. So I'm thinking he going to counter that. He didn't counter that. Some more days go by. I said, well, listen, bro, I got this situation where, you know, when I had my last storefront and I left it, they let the lights kept going. I didn't know you got to call up there and tell them turn it off. So my bill ended up going about $1,300. I tell him, hey, listen, pay that $1,300 for me on that light bill, and you know that'll help me out, man. Because if I move anywhere within the city, I'm gonna have to get city lights, and that'll help me. You know, I'll be in the clear. And I'm thinking about when I paid the money, the $600-700 for him at the, you know, when I first moved into the house, when I paid for that tampering stuff. So he say, all right, send me the account number. That's what he say. So I get on the phone with the people. I'm getting all the information. I sends him the account number because I'm thinking he gonna pay it for me or send me the money, let me go pay it. So he say, I'm trying to pay it, but it won't let me do it. I say, it won't let you do it. I say, how are you doing it? He, on the internet over the phone. He said, I'm doing it on the internet. I said, man, try it on the phone because I just called the number and it gave me step by step what you got to do. So he said, all right. Then he sent me a text back. He said, is this the account number for the church account? I said, for the church account? Why in the world am I going to be sending you the church account number when we just talked and I asked you about helping me with an old light bill? Why in the world so I said, why in the world I'm going to be sending a church account? So he said, okay, Terrell. That was it. In the meantime of that, the same day, my lawyer called me. She had already been saying to me, I'm sorry, Terrell, they dropped the ball, and I hate to tell you, because I was telling her I'm still going to church. She said, I hate to tell you, but Ron J just not your friend. Pastor Crump is just not your friend. And I'm thinking, damn, I've been knowing this man since we was like in the 7th, 8th grade. You know, this is my friend. You know, and that same day, she called me, she said, Miss Parlow, she said, Reg just notified me about Ron J he tried everything he could to buy the properties in August of last year, but he found out that he could not purchase the house. He only, far as credit, I believe, it was only going to allow him to purchase the churches. That's where my problem came in at. And if anybody ever have been through this or would ever go through it, I would imagine you would feel the same way. The man knew August of 2020, because it's 2020 of August, that he was not going to be able to buy the house. He knew it. And he continued to take money from me from August all the way up into January. So we saying, August, September, October, November, December, 6 months. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, $4,800 that he took from me, that he knew I was not going to be able to stay in that house after, Reg took control, or Reg was taking control then. So that's why I was upset. She said, I know that makes you mad. She said, I feel like his friends, he should have told you August of last year, hey, listen, man, I ain't gonna be able to get the house with the church. So, bro, just go ahead and stack your money. And when the time comes, January come, bro, you're gonna have to find somewhere else. See, that would have took the weight off of him. He wouldn't have had to worry about me coming at him like, bro, why you didn't tell me, and I ain't in this, I'm not prepared. It would have been on me, but he didn't give me that. He even took the rent all the way up into January. So she telling me this. I'm extremely upset. I reach out to him, can't get in touch with him. Again, I tell him, I say, hey, bro, I found out, you supposed to, you knew you weren't going to be able to buy this house. And they say, you tried everything, but you just couldn't do it. I said, his friends, man, you should have came to me and told me, hey, bro, this how it's going to be. That would have gave me some time to get prepared. You know what I'm saying? So he not responding. I tell him, I say, I'm going to go public on you. This is about, now we done been going through this for about January, February, March, April. I'm in this house. We've been going through this for months. This is probably about April now. Let me see, January, February, March, April. Yeah, April. I tell him I'm going to go public on you. I believe that was April. 4 months of being quiet, just me and him going through it. Finally, I get tired of it because he going up on his pulpit, and when he preaching, I feel like he taking shots at me. Whether I was right or wrong, I got to live with that. I'm listening to him, so I'm like, okay, that's his pulpit. I go to social media. That's my pulpit. If you want to play them kind of games. Yeah, so I say, social media is my pulpit. So when I told him I was going to go public, he said, do what you got to do. I say, Dad, bro, you feel like that. I say, you lied in front of your son, bro. You said you offered to help me in front of your son. I said, I ain't asked you for no help. You lied in front of your son. Like, I don't rock like that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna put my kids in my stuff, and I definitely ain't finna be lying up in front of them. Like, that's my word. My word good. You know what I'm saying? So he say that. I go to church probably that next Sunday, and I'm in my feelings. Because, I got children, man. You know what I'm saying? This is how I provide stability for them, and I got to figure this stuff out. And I'm going to figure it out in my mind. That's how I'm thinking. I'm going to figure this out. I always figure it out. So I go to church that Sunday, and again, I'm being petty. I sit up on the front row. He done invited somebody to the church, and they get up there and say, we got to honor our pastors. I'm like, man, honor our pastors. In my mind, man, I ain't trying to hear that shit, because that's what I'm going through. Don't nobody know but me, him, and probably his wife, or whoever he done told. I ain't said nothing to nobody. So I leave out of church quickly. I go straight to social media, and that might not have been the best thing to do, but I was already upset and told him what I was going to do. I go to social media, and I say, hey, listen, I said, how in the world, I'm paraphrasing, but I put up a post, I said, the Bible don't say nothing about honoring your pastor. It say honor your mother and father. I'm going to Walmart or something like that, I said, and people looked at that and were laughing and, like, Dad, I can't believe he said that, I was friends with a lot of people on the church. Now, I done deleted him a minute ago. I'm like, we ain't friends, man, so let me stop that. I deleted him and his wife a minute ago. So, I say that, and then one of the members of the church, I won't mention her name because she feed off this. She see what I'm saying, so she must have sent it over to another member, and they decide to put up a post reiterating what I said. I was friends with a book. I'm scrolling down and I see it, and they said, yeah, if you honor your church, if you honor God, you honor your church, you honor your pastor, blah blah blah. So, they all on there talking, and I believe at this time, she done told them, I'm making subliminals over there on my page. So then I go on my stories, and I put a picture up of him, and, and it's a song related to, me and him and our situation. And I put up another friend, this ain't about him right now, but anyway, I put that up. She like, wow, I can't believe this. You know, ain't nobody could believe it, man. We done everything together. Extremely. That was my dog. So, you know, his armor bearer say, well, man, you wouldn't appreciate if somebody put you up in a story like that or whatever. 'Cause I believe he knew what was going on, but he tried to stay neutral as much as possible. So now it's on. You know what I'm saying? I done said this, you know, now that member, she going up, putting up posts, you know what I'm saying? So I take her post, copy it, and put in my words and put it up on my page just to show her, you know, listen, my platform way bigger than yours. So I'm going to say something, take your shit and say the same thing and watch how many people engage, show interest in it, and it was way more. She ain't like that. So she reporting back to them, telling them everything I'm saying. You know, but I still ain't coming out saying why I'm mad. You know, I'm just throwing shots here and there. You know, man, people be claiming to be your friend, ain't your friend, blah, blah, blah. Throwing shots here and there. Her and I, she keep on picking. So, she put up a post again, and next thing I know, you know, I'm looking through the post. I'm being nosy, looking through the post, and you know, people calling me snake. Now I know they talking about me now, and I know who they talking about. So I see one person say I'm a clown, and I just blessed this young lady with $100. Told her husband, God put in my spirit to bless him. Gave him $100. But now I'm a clown. I'm a clown. One of them say I'm looking for clout. Listen, I had clout way before social media. I had clout in school. You know, I mean, I don't care nothing about being popular, but if we talking about that kind of stuff, I always been popular. I was popular in Little League football. So how are you gonna talk about clout? Everybody already know who I am. So, you know, this person sound clout. Then his sister-in-law said some shit that I didn't like, said that I was a snake and was always jealous of him. And I couldn't believe that. Like, jealous of him, a snake of him, as much as I done did for him, been there for him, how? You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know, you know, that, you know, later on in the story you gonna hear. So, you know, my whole point to him was, because I still ain't told everybody, you know, I'm like, yo, bro, you should have told me this. So now, Reg done got tired of just talking between me, him, and the lawyers. 'Cause I cut him off. Reg come over to the house. Me and him exchange words. 2 days later, he done lawyered up now. So his lawyer sent my lawyer a letter and say, you know, uh, we're asking for possession of the property. You know, and that lease is not valid, and Mr. Crump was not supposed to be taking the monies. He supposed to been sending monies to the Church of God or whoever the church that owned it. He supposed to been sending that rent money to them. He wasn't doing it. You know, he wasn't supposed to put it at a 2-year lease. He supposed to put month to month. So I ain't understand none of that. I'm like, well, why in the world he gonna put, you know, somebody in the house and then not? But come to find out, I ain't saying I'm the reason why he bought the church, but my money's from the rent helped him, and that's all right. I wasn't chilling. I paid him my rent, and the rest, what he did wasn't my business. I paid him a lot of the times cash. My mama would say, Terrell, you ain't getting no receipt from Roger? No, we don't need receipt. I don't need no receipt. But thank God, for the most part, I paid him through Cash App. So it's a record of that. But, you know, Red's done lawyered up. His lawyer said they want possession of the property. You know, and I done been in the house about 4 or 5 months now, and I ain't pay Reg nothing. I just stacked that money up to the side. I'm like, you know, I ain't paying that man nothing. And you know, it's crunch time now. I really don't got until August to move out, but they pressuring me more and more, and it's stressing me out. I'm like, man, I'm finna get away from this, because they ain't gonna be controlling my life like that. So, you know, his lawyers, they talking back and forth. Maggie asking me what I want to do, telling me I ain't got to go nowhere, you know what I'm saying? But if, you know, if I need to be figuring it out soon. Because, you know, she said they don't want, she said we don't want to go to court, and they definitely don't want to go to court, because I was going to win. But anyway, so I said, okay, you know what, I found a place, I'm going to go ahead and make my move. So in that week, I started making my move. After Reggie came over, we fell out, and he got his lawyer. I started making my move, started figuring out getting the stuff out the house. You know, like, man, I started preparing my mind. I let my kids know you know, we ain't gonna be in here too much longer. You know what I'm saying? Daddy gonna find us somewhere else. You know, and that was hard, man. You know, and I thank God my children didn't cry or nothing like that. Like, why? Because if they had did that, then I really would have turned up. You know, and Cause I would have felt like this nigga ain't care nothing about my kids. So I decided one day, I said, I'm gonna go live. You know what I'm saying? Cause he had put up a sermon, and somebody said, go listen to his sermon. He telling people to get ready. They coming. They say They said go listen to his sermon. So I listened to the sermon. I said, he talking about me. I knew it because I know him. He talking about me. So, I do my things. I'm gonna go live here at this time. I got a lot of people telling me not to, and thank God for those people because I still didn't go in. So I